This is a famous quote from John F. Kennedy, the former US president. He was visiting Germany in 1963 after the Second World War, and he was saying, "Ich bin ein Berliner," which means, I'm a resident of Berlin. And he gave that speech to support Germany after the Second World War. He wanted to be Germany rebuilt, be strong again. So in today's speech, I want to talk about the Second World War, about Germany, about the Berlin Wall, and why Berlin was divided into East and West, and why the country of Germany was divided East and West. Let's start with some history first. 1945, the Second World War was over. It lasted from 1939 to 1945, and Germany lost. The winners were the Western countries of the United States, France, and Great Britain, and on the east side it was the Soviet Union. And the Western Allies took the western part of Germany, and the eastern country of the Soviet Union took East Germany. And there was one great city left in the middle, Berlin. And it had a unique location just in the middle of the Eastern German country. So it was surrounded by the communistic state of the Soviet Union. So people wanted to not live in East Germany, they wanted to live in West Germany, because in the late 1950s, the economy in Germany, in West Germany, got better because they had the support of the Western Allies, like the United States, France, and Great Britain. So many East Germans fled over to West Germany, to West Berlin. And the government of East Germany said, no, stop, we can't accept that anymore. Because by the early 1960s, already 2.5 million people were over in the West. So they came up with something, and there was August 12, 1961. Most Berliners were sleeping. And in East Germany, there were trucks rumbling through the streets with soldiers and construction workers. And they jumped off the truck and just teared off the pavement, put barbed wire everywhere, and put posts so that the streets were blocked from east to west. Nobody could go from east to west anymore. So the next morning, Berliners woke up in shock. They could no longer go and commute to the workplace. They could no longer meet friends and family. They were not able to take any telephone calls, no sporting events, nothing. Some people said that whoever decided to sleep on this side of the city or this side of the city during that night was just stuck for decades on that side. The wall was extended later, days later, months later, was made bigger, taller, longer. Through all Germany it was cut, and many people went over the wall and made it, but many also died. East German soldiers were very strict, very brutal, and actually there were incidences where a person was climbing over the wall and the person just was shot and left there to bleed to death. So that was very tragic. And then everything changed in 1989. In 1989, the wall came down. Why? Because there was this gentleman, his name is Mikhail Gorbachev. And he, back then, was the leader of the Soviet Union. And he didn't believe in the strong communism where you don't have any freedom of speech. You're going to be arrested when you speak up, or there's no freedom to travel. So Mikhail Gorbachev was for reforms. He wanted to change this, and he did. He called it perestroika and glasnost. And the East Germans heard about it. They were going on the streets. There's more openness now. So they were chanting, tear down the wall, open the gate, tear down the wall, open the gate. For a month they were doing that. And I still remember, on November 9, 1989, we were all sitting in front of the TVs with family and friends. Everybody was watching on TV. and there was an East German spokesman coming on TV, and he was saying, everybody can travel now. The wall is down, the political wall is down, it's open. And Germans were just flooding the streets from east and west and just celebrating. Germany was reunited again. They were actually dancing on the wall, raising the German flag, and just happy to be reunited again after 28 years. I still remember growing up in West Berlin, or in West Germany, visiting an aunt in West Berlin. We had to drive through East Germany, and it was very scary to drive from West Germany through East Germany to West Berlin, because it was very military driven. There were tanks, there were police, there was military presence, so you really were scared to be stopped and asked questions and arrested, so it was always very scary to drive to the aunt to visit her. But now, today, there's freedom in Germany. Again, they are reunited, and there's freedom, and I want to end my speech with a quote about freedom. It's from Martin Luther King, and it says, "Freedom is never voluntarily given. It has to be demanded by the oppressed." Thank you. Back to you.